Hi everyone, this is Adrien, the exercise specialist from the Leduc Beaumont Devon Primary Care Network. I hope you all are doing well today. Today I thought I'd show you a video of a bunch of different ways you can work on your balance from a stationary kind of position and progression. So what we will do is all these balance movements are going to be done from a stationary position, so there'll be no jumping, no moving, no twisting, no real bouncing or anything like that. And they will begin very easy, and then they will progress harder and harder. For these kind of things, you could do each exercise. Hold it for 10 or 15 seconds. If you're not able to make it that long, then you can restart. Or if you can do it for 15 seconds or 10 seconds, you could do multiple rounds of 10 or 15 seconds. I'm going to go through all these exercises one time. I do have 9 exercises that I will be showing today and different variations of each. If you do have concerns with your balance, and that's why you want to work on your balance movements, I always recommend having someone with you to do these exercises with you for safety. Last thing we want is for you to have a fall while trying to work on your balance. So always have someone there to help support you while you're working on your balancing exercises. Also, on top of having something like a wall or a chair or a handle or something close by that you can grab, very helpful as well. So like I said, I will be going through each exercise today. I will do each exercise for 10-15 seconds just to show you guys how it is. Once you're able to do the exercise for 10 or 15 seconds, you can likely move on to the next kind of level of difficulty. This is not a complete list by any means. It's just one. It's just one example. I'm going to have many more balance videos coming moving forward. This is just, like I said, one example of some movements that you can do for your balance. So the first couple start seated, and then the next ones move to standing. As per usual, if you're new to physical activity, if you're returning to physical activity from a long layoff, or if you have a medical condition that might make doing physical activity difficult or dangerous, please consult with your physician before performing any physical activity programs. Thank you. So the first exercise is something I simply called seated side shuffles or seated side scooting, whichever you want to do it. So you are seated. Feet are flat on the floor, and all you're going to do is you're going to shift your weight over to one side and kind of lift your glute and the back of your leg up off the one side. Now hold that, and the same thing on the other side. It's a nice, easy, seated balancing movement. If this is easy, you can always try going further and further, see how you do. Obviously, if you can keep your hands off your legs to make it more difficult, that's fine. Putting your arms out can also make it a little more difficult also. I'll just do the same thing going forward here as long as your back's okay. I wouldn't really ever recommend doing it backwards for risk of falling backwards. So that's the first movement. The second one is going to be seated. It's going to be seated reaching. So for this, you take one of your hands with your feet flat on the floor. You put it out to the side, and you lean over and you reach. And you can do the same thing on the other side. You lean over and you reach. Sometimes, if you want to, you can bend. I generally recommend people try and stay as upright as possible. And lean your torso over and reach. You can do the same thing going forward as well. Once again, I would not recommend going backwards for risk of falling, but nice simple way to work on it. You're getting your center of gravity off as you're working on your reaching. So the next one is the first one that we are going to be doing standing here. My chair out of the way here. So the first one is simply put, as you can see my feet here, is just simply standing side by side with your feet together. So you want to have your feet as close together as you can make them. And you want to be able to stand here. Oftentimes, if you're having issues, if you can try and focus on something that isn't moving, it can help you with your balance. If you're able to do this one for 10 plus seconds without much concern, then you can be comfortable moving on. So the next one is called the standing instep. So one foot goes slightly forward and one foot goes slightly back to the side. So my toes on the foot at the back are at the same distance as the middle of my front foot. So I'll show you all from the side here. Front foot, back foot, just like that. So it's just a bit of an instep. And you would do this one both ways. So you get in a position, you would hold that. And when you get to your 10 or 15 seconds, then you switch. And you can hold that. Then fantastic. If you're able to do that, then you're able to move on. Next is the standing tandem step. So one foot goes directly in front of the other foot, and you would hold this for your 10 seconds. So I'll show you guys from the side, just so you can see me, toe to heel, standing for 10 seconds upright, without needing to touch the wall or support yourself. That is a pass. Those last three movements here, including this one, are part of what's called the four-stage balance test, as made by the CDC. It's a four-stage test that I often use with my patients. So if you're able to do these for 10 seconds without support, you move on to the next level of difficulty. This is level 3. Obviously the first being standing feet together, second being instep, third being tandem. If you're able to do this one for 10 seconds, then you have passed the test. If you're not able to do tandem for at least 10 seconds, then you have a failed test. The fourth and final stage of that test is the next one, which we'll move on to. Now this is when the difficulty does start to pick up, which is the single leg, a single leg type of a balance test. For most people, I generally recommend them bringing their foot off the ground and just elevating it slightly in front of them. If you feel better, you can go a little bit behind you, but in general, you want to raise it off the ground just a few inches, just out in front of you. So this is the final stage of the 4 stages of the balance test. If you're able to complete this for 10 seconds, you know that you are doing fairly well overall from a balance side of thing. Of course, we always want to do both feet, So this is exercise 6 of the 9 that I plan on showing today. Nice and simple. So once you hit that 10 to 15 seconds, if you do want to continue with increasing the difficulty, there are many more exercises. I'm just going to show you guys a few. But like I said, if you're only able to work up to a tandem or an instep or even starting at the single leg, that's all fine, and you can start to notice where you are at and how you can work on that and progress. So the next one is once again, you're going to be standing on one leg. All of these movements moving forward are now what are called ipsilaterals. So you're going to be using one leg to balance out while we do things with your body. So this first one, as these get more difficult, so raise an arm above your head. Hold that for 5 or so seconds, and then switch arms, other arm up above your head. If you're able to get that, fantastic. Then you switch feet, get your balance. One arm above your head, as high as you are capable of getting it, and down, and the other arm up above your head. Fantastic. So the next one, exercise 8. To make this a little more difficult, you're going to be on your toes. So once again, one foot in the air. Now reach out to the side. Some people, they want to really work on leaning and things like that, which you absolutely can do if you would like to. I don't find it totally necessary. All I'm looking for is a simple stretch, sideways bend slightly and up, stretch, sideways bend slightly and up. Then obviously you would switch legs, get your balance, sideways bend and up, sideways bend. See, I lost that one. Sideways bend and up. If you really want to get going really far, you can. It's just ways to make it a little harder, but I'm only really concerned with, once you're able to do this, you're really pulling your center of gravity away from the midpoint of your body, so you're really getting off balance. If you're able to maintain that is fantastic. The final one that I will show for today, it's just a simple a single leg plantar flexion exercise. So this one also works the calves a little bit. I wouldn't expect people to really hold this for too long, but this one, this would be the most difficult out of this series, and the closest thing to a dynamic movement, but we're not going to do a lot of it. We're not going to do any dynamic movements for this video. That'll be a separate video. So this one, I'll come backwards, seems to me feel better. So over here, we just, as you can try and come up on, come up and try to go onto one toe, just for a few seconds, and then down. Up onto one toe, and down. Up one toe, and down. So not only is that working on some of the balance, because you're reducing the actual surface area of your body on the ground, so there's less actual surface for you to balance on, and it makes it harder. So not only is this making the balancing act harder of the single leg, this also really works your calf muscles. Boom, and down, up, and up, hold it up there, and down. Sometimes for some people, if you need, you can find a wall, and then you can come up onto your one toe, and when you feel good, then you can let go. So that would be the 9th and the final exercise for today. So those are all pretty basic, all stationary, not doing any kinds of bouncing around or bounding or stepping intensity or anything like that. We'll do all those separately. These are just really basic stationary balance movements that you can work on, starting from a seated position up to standing, up to different foot positions, up to a single foot position, up to a single foot position while your upper body is moving, so on and so forth. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to post them down below. I really hope you enjoyed the video. My name is Adrien. I'm the exercise specialist at the Leduc Beaumont Devon Primary Care Network. Thank you so much, and have a great day.